So yes, Innovation Essentials, and this is hosted by Nevada SBDC and UNLV's Office of Economic Development. And my name is Karma Hunter. I'm hosting this on behalf of Rachel. She couldn't be here today, but we work together. I'm one of the business development advisors at SBDC. So SBDC is a nonprofit organization. We are SBA's resource partner, and we're funded by SBA and also UNLV as well. So we give at no cost business advice, business mentoring for all phases of your business. You can come to us for all kinds of business resources, and we're going to talk about this after like the educational piece of the presentation. So I'm going to tell you exactly what we do and all the resources we have and the advice we can give you. Let's start. So I have a great concept or idea. What do I do first? So this is one of the most common questions we get. This is the most common thing we get clients for, right? We get a lot of people saying, I have an idea, I want to start a business, what do I do first? And of course we help you with the ideation process and also starting your business. So you can come to us with that. But let's talk about the 4 stages of technology life cycle. What stage of development are you at? We're at Tech Alley, so we're going to talk about the technology side of it. How can we develop a tech product? Where do we start, right? Phase 1 is the innovation part of it. This is where you invest your time into it, money and resources. This is the research and development phase of your product. Welcome. Hi, sure, please. And phase 2 is the ascent. So this is the initial launch and early revenue. Later on, we're going to break down these and talk about what we do in these phases. Phase 3 is our maturity phase. This is where we're a player in the market now and we're looking at competition. And phase 4 is the decline phase. So every product starts to become obsolete. And what do we do during this decline phase? Welcome. Hi. So when we have an idea, a tech idea, let's say, how do you take your new innovative idea and turn it into a business? What do we do? So when we look at the phases of a startup, we said idea generation and validation. What do we do? First, we have the concept development phase. During this phase, we got to identify a problem that our market needs, right? We have our target audience. They have a problem, and we come up with this solution first, right? Whenever we have an idea, we got to make sure that this idea is solving a problem. So a lot of times, especially in the tech world, when our founders come up with an idea, a lot of the times, you guys know as the tech people, we think about a technology and it's, oh, this technology is amazing, right? But we got to make sure it has a use case. So is this really solving a problem? And is this really needed? Is this really marketable, right? So we got to make sure that we're brainstorming the solution, conducting this preliminary research to refine the idea. And I am a marketing strategist. My expertise is in marketing strategy. And I'm going to break down some things for you when we get to the go-to-market strategy portion with the marketing strategy later on. And market research phase. So this is where you got to spend a lot of time, really. This is your foundation, right? We don't want to develop a product and everything is ready before you do market research and halfway develop the product and put it into the market, where then you realize, oh, there was really no need. I didn't have a market for it, right? So we got to make sure we're analyzing the industry trends. We got to make sure that there's a good market size for it. It's not just a few people, or it's not just that we are asking the people we know and they're like, oh, this is a great idea, yes, you should do it. Don't trust people you know, because they're always going to tell you, oh yes, this is a great idea. That's not good market research. You always got to ask people that you don't know, or people who don't even have an idea about your industry. You got to ask those people, right? If people who don't know about your idea or industry are understanding what you're talking about, that may be a good idea, right? So don't ask people you know, because you may not get an objective feedback from them. Competitors. You got to look at your competitors. You got to validate demand through surveys. Again, surveys for the people in that industry and people you don't know, right? The right people. People who are actually your target audience. Make sure that you're surveying those people. Make sure you're interviewing your target audience and you're doing focus groups. And during your ideation and validation process, you gotta have feasibility studies. So assessing technical, financial, and operational feasibility. Is your idea feasible and reasonable, right? Developing basic business model and value proposition canvas. Your value propositions are the most important aspect for your marketing. Your value propositions are what's going to be the fundamentals for your marketing. These are things like the results you're going to give to your target audience, the problems you're solving, and results that your technology or your product or service that your offer is giving to your target audience, right? Are you helping them earn more money? Are you helping them save time? Are you helping them enhance their customer service? What is your product or service helping them do, right? Those are your value propositions, and very important that you are iterating these things. Second phase, your business planning. Make sure you have a business plan. A business plan is going to, hello, welcome. A business plan is going to help you go step by step, right? You're not going to later on just think what you're going to be doing. You already have a plan. And this is going to help you with your funding, because later on you're going to need funding, and when you need funding, they're going to ask you for a business plan. Create an executive summary, company description, market analysis, organization and management plan, product service line, marketing and sales strategy, funding request, financial projections. This is one of the biggest things that we help companies at SBDC. A lot of the times companies come to us, yes, they started the company, but now they need funding. So how do we get them funding? We need to have a robust business plan before you go and look for funding. Whether you're going to get a loan from a bank or you're gonna look for investors, you're gonna need a business plan. Without a business plan, nobody's gonna really look at your offer. Legal considerations. So this is very important again, right? What type of business structure you're gonna choose. Are you gonna be a sole proprietor? Not necessarily, right? You don't wanna take all the liability on yourself, and especially if you're gonna have a tech company, you're not gonna be by yourself, right? You're gonna either have a LLC or S Corp or C Corp. So you gotta look at which structure is the best for you. Again, we help with this process as well. Look at which process could be best for you and advise you on that. Register the business name, obtain necessary licenses and permits, draft foundational legal documents. What type of licenses do you need? There are so many different business licenses, and different industries need different type of licenses. Which ones will you need? You said you're in the health industry, so you may need so many different licenses than someone who's in the food industry. Someone who's in the tech industry is going to need different licensing. So it's going to be completely different, right? Funding and launch. We talked about funding, that you need a business plan definitely for that first, and funding options, right? Explore bootstrapping. A lot of businesses is going to have to bootstrap at first. Friends and family, angel investors, welcome. Venture capital, bank loans, lines of credit, crowdfunding. So all of these options are available. Are they available for you, for your business? At what point of your business are these going to be good for you, right? Or for your business? Financial planning. So creating financial projections. These are going to involve income statements, cash flow, balance sheet, setting up accounting systems, planning for working capital needs, right? These are all big things. And as a founder yourself, you're going to wear so many hats. And which one of these are you going to be doing, right? Normally, when you look at a big corporation, there's a person or a different department doing each of these things. And when you start, you're by yourself. So that's why you want to get all the help you need, right? And we can help you with all of these things. We can provide you with different forms. We can help you strategize and plan these things. We can refer you to different resources and different partners, and help you with guidance and strategy. Go-to-market strategy. So this is very, very important, that you are getting ready for your go-to-market strategy, especially with a tech product. Product marketing is gonna make you or break you, right? Go-to-market strategy is gonna be very, very important. Finalize product and service development. This is gonna be a long process. You wanna start with a good foundation. Hello. Develop a marketing plan, set up sales channels, launch initial marketing campaigns. So here, I want to take a pause on the phases of startup, and I want to go to the go-to-market strategy and the beginning of how you want to start your go-to-market strategy. And that goes to validating your idea, right? Your go-to-market strategy starts with validation. Validating your idea. So that's where you start your go-to-market strategy, from your market research. You want to track everything you're doing from the beginning, and that is going to be essential for your go-to-market strategy. Validating your idea starts from your market research, like we said in the beginning, right? From your industry analysis. Look at your industry, look at your market, look at your market size. Do you really have a good serviceable market? And just because there is a big industry does not mean that the entire industry is serviceable for you, right? You want to narrow down your target audience. I'm a copywriter by trade. That's how I started my marketing journey. And as a copywriter, as a conversion copywriter, what I always say is, if you speak to everyone, you speak to no one, right? It becomes wah, 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 so nobody looks at you, right? Because think of it this way. There are so many, just an example, CRM platforms. Do we know what CRM platforms are? Okay, customer retention management platforms, right? These are the platforms where we send our emails, have our leads on our platforms, right? There are thousands of CRM platforms. And if you go out and try to sell a CRM platform and say, hey, I have a CRM platform. Hey, buy my CRM platform to a business. They're going to be like, okay, what's the difference of it, right? You're just speaking to no one at that point, because there's HubSpots, there's Salesforces, there's Active Campaigns, there's this and that. So there has to be a difference. That's why you have to make sure that you're narrowing down your target audience. You can't speak to, if you're selling a CRM platform, you can't speak to every single business in the United States of America, right? So you have to make sure you're narrowing down your target audience. Competitive analysis. Of course, you got to look at your competitors. When you look at your competitors, look at every size of competitor. What are they doing in the industry? What can you do better? And one thing, a question I get a lot with competitor analysis. How do we do competitor analysis? Of course, you can hire companies to do your competitor analysis. This is great. Do that. Make sure to do that. But also, from your marketing standpoint, from your content strategy, from your lead generation strategy, from speaking to your customers part, what you can do is, for your social listening, go to your competitors' platforms and look at their content and look at what people are saying, how they're responding to their content, right? Look at the comments on their content. Look at what people are asking, what kind of questions they're asking in their comments to their replies, so that you can be a step ahead on your content yourself. This is a great way of social listening. Before you start, you can see that what the similar type of audience is already talking about and what kind of feedback they're already giving to the similar topics. So that's a good content strategy market research. Problem solution fit. Identifying customer pain points. Very, very important. You have to know your customers' pain points. This is very important for your market strategy, go-to-market strategy. From your content strategy to your lead generation, to your demand generation, to your sales strategy. This is what's going to convert. The identifying your customers' pain points is going to be most important for you. And unique value proposition. This is, we touched on this a little bit, right? Your unique value proposition is going to be the results you're giving to your clients, end result. And these should be tangible things, right? This is not like, oh, we help you live your best life. It can't be that. This can't be like, oh, we help you make things easier. No, what thing's easier? It needs to be tangible. Minimum viable product. Once you have a MVP, welcome. You got to have an MVP, right? You got to develop the core features, and once you develop the core features, you have to test your product. Test your product, meaning have some people use your product and get real feedback from them. And again, not only the people you know, real people who don't know you, who don't know your product, have them tested. People you know are always going to be nice to you. They're always going to like your product most of the time. So that's why you want to have actual people who don't know you, actual people who are really your target audience, and tell them, I want to know the real truth. Don't be nice to me, right? You want to know, you want to have the raw truth, because you want to develop your product to be the best. And don't take it personal if it's terrible, right? You want to know, you want to make it better. I'm sure it's not going to be terrible. Customer validation. Engaging early adopters. This is very important, engaging early adopters. Those early adopters are going to be your champions. Those are going to be your people who are going to be talking about you, who are going to be getting you referrals. Those are going to be your best clients, those early adopters. So you want to treat them right. Those may be the ones maybe they used your MVP, maybe they didn't have a good experience, but because you developed it, because you gave them the best customer service, now they became your champions. And this happens a lot, actually, because you actually give them such personable service, because you only have probably 10 people right now, right, with an MVP. You give them so personable service, they now become your champions. And pivoting or preserving. Yes, you're going to need to pivot sometimes because you realize, okay, this product, maybe some features don't have a use case, and now you're going to need to add some other features. This happened to me with one of the products. I was a CMO for one of the products, and this product had a great technology, but in order to be marketable, it needed certain features. So that happens a lot as well. Sometimes the product and the marketing department has to talk a lot, right? Because the technology is great, but in order for me to market it, I need more features. So there is some pivoting going on in between departments. I need to explain that. I need some use case. I need some features in order for me to market it, right? If you have any questions in between, please ask me. You don't have to wait until the end, by the way. Brand strategy, brand identity, vision and mission, and brand values. So when it comes to vision and mission, a lot of the times we hear vision and mission statements that are very generic. Okay, we want to help change lives. We want to help such and such companies grow, right? So these are so generic. We don't want to hear that. Why don't we want to hear that? Because we don't understand anything. It's like, oh, great, good for you, right? Here's what we want to hear. We realized such and such group of people had such and such problem. So in order to fix this problem, we developed such and such technology to solve this problem. Once we developed this technology, we saw that such and such people were able to get such and such results, right? So you want to show the problem you're solving for the people you're solving the problem and the difference you're making, right, in this mission statement. And with your vision, you want to explain what kind of difference you want to make later on, right? So in your vision and mission statement, the biggest thing you want to have is who you're helping, problem and solution, and the difference you're making. Those have to be involved in your vision and mission statements. You don't want to just say, hey, we want to have you live your best life, right? We want to understand, and especially also in your elevator pitch, when you're explaining about the company you have, or the product you're developing, or what you do, always explain who you're helping, what type of problem you're solving, and the difference your product or service has, so that people are not like, oh, great. Because a lot of the times people are talking, right? I do this. Sometimes you walk away and you have no idea what that person does, right? Or sometimes people are like, so what do you mean? Or how does this work? You don't want to do that. In 30 seconds, you want to be able to explain exactly what this product is about or service is about. Brand positioning. Positioning statement. Again, in your positioning statement, we want to understand who you're helping, right? What type of companies or people you're helping. Brand messaging. Brand messaging, positioning statement and brand messaging comes from, again, your vision and mission statement. Brand elements, visual identity, and brand guidelines. So a lot of times I see companies start doing their logo before they have a vision and mission statement, before they have their positioning and brand messaging. They already have their colors, elements, logos, and things like that. I always advise to do your positioning, messaging, vision and mission statement, and then start designing your logo, your colors, your elements, because sometimes after you position yourself and do your brand strategy, you realize, oh, this logo and these colors are now not really matching my positioning and messaging, right? Because sometimes some companies, they design their logo and colors and elements. It has a softer look, and all of a sudden they position themselves for a more industrial or more luxurious look, and all of a sudden the logo or the elements look too light or too soft for it, or vice versa, right? The logo or the colors or elements were more masculine, more industrial, and now we positioned it softer. So you don't want to do that. It's very important that you position it right and your visual identity matches your positioning, your brand identity. And go-to-market strategy. Market entry plan, marketing channels, and measuring success. Your market entry plan is gonna need to match your target audience, your brand strategy, and that's why it's very important that you are doing this work before anything else. You're doing all of this market research, you're doing all of this brand strategy, so that your go-to-market strategy, your entry plan is matching everything, right? Your value propositions are going to be very, very important for your go-to-market strategy. What channels are you going to enter from? What are the tactics and strategies you're going to use? How are you going to launch this product? How are you going to create this buzz? A lot of the times we launch a product and we have no leads. How are we launching this product? In the air, right? We launch it, we say, hey, we opened, but there's no one to hear us because we didn't generate any leads. So we want to generate leads before we launch the product. So before your product is ready, you want to have a content strategy. You want to start pushing out content and creating that buzz. Don't say, oh, I don't have a product yet, why am I pushing content? Yes, you want to have content out. You want to create that buzz. You want people waiting for this product. You want the right people to be waiting for the product so that once you launch, you already have people ready to buy it. Phases of a startup, we're back to that. Growth and scaling, operations management, optimizing business process, implement scalable systems, technologies, focus on quality control and customer satisfaction. Marketing and sales, expansion, expanding marketing efforts like digital marketing, social media, SEO, content marketing, developing partnerships and strategic alliances, exploring new sales channels and markets. Team building, hiring key team members, developing a company culture, investing in new employee training and development. So these are all during the growth and scaling stage. And then we have maturity and expansion. This is where we innovate and develop. right? This is where we continue product and service innovation, invest in research and development, monitor industry trends, and adapt, right? This is almost like back to the beginning, because we got to still keep developing in order to expand. Market expansion, enter new geographic markets, diversify product service offerings from international partnerships and alliances. Remember, we said have a narrow target audience when you first start. This is where you can expand your target audience, right? Because you already had a narrow one. Now you can expand out to new markets. Financial management, maintain strong financial controls and governance, explore options for reinvestment, consider exit strategies like mergers, acquisitions, IPOs. And then your final stage, exit strategy. So this is where exit planning happens, potential exit opportunities, prepare the business for sale or merger, maximize business valuation. And execution, negotiate terms with buyers or partners, finalize legal and financial arrangements, transition leadership and management. So this is the exit part of it. These are the key considerations for each phase. I'm not going to go over it. If you want, you can take a picture. We already talked a lot about each phase. And what phase are you at? Oh, sorry. Go back. What phase are you at, right? And all of these phases we talked about at SBDC, we can help you at each phase, whatever phase you're at no cost. This is all no cost help for you. And who's SBDC? So we are your first call to start your business. So if you want to start your business, if you have an idea, we can help you with that. We promote economic development across the state by providing confidential business advising and training at no cost to you. We are supported by SBA and UNLV's Office of Economic Development. So, starting a business, we can help with new entity formation, licensing requirements, permits, market research, startup costs, projections, planning and strategy, word of mouth, create a network. We have a lot of networking events, by the way. If you become a client, you're invited to our networking events. I don't know if you ever heard of Blackfire Innovation Lab at West Sunset. It's built by UNLV's Office of Economic Development Center, and it is a very nice office. You should come visit one day. It's a technology center. So we have a gaming center. We have a maker space. I'll tell you about it later on, but it is a full print and design studio. So if you're a client for us, you're able to get, like, normally it's about like 60% less than normal graphic print design shops. Basically, you get a huge discount, but our interns help you with print and design. But we do have a great facility that you can also host events. We have a working space. You can work there, kind of like, the co-working spaces. We have a space like that. So come and visit us. Blackfire Innovation. You're welcome. Business plans, grant and funding. So when you're growing a business, we can help you with business organization, marketing strategy, social media, digital assessments, marketing presentations, pitch decks, hiring, W-2 versus 1099. So right now I am in charge of the UNLV's marketing internship program. We're revamping it and we're hiring more interns. My vision is for the interns to help you with your business, and more hands-on involvement where they can help you with web development. They can help you with your social media. They can help you with your lead generation and your CRM. We can look at your CRM and demand generation, help you with that strategy. If you have SDRs or a sales team, we can help you with their process, so you can become a client and ask for help with that, and we can definitely help you with that. HR compliance, tax implications, annual reporting requirements, marketing, advertising, sales, financial management. And here's the chart. You can take a picture of that. But yeah, if you'd like to get help with the marketing internship program, go to Nevada SBDC.org and request advisory. There should be a button there when you scroll down. And when you request an advisory, ask for Karma, and so they can assign you to me, and then we can do strategy sessions, and depending on what you need, we can assign you to my Nevada SBDC.org. Also, we are going to look at if you have like an account-based marketing strategy, we can look at that and advise you on that and such. So we have other programs at UNLV. Actually, this is another internship program for our tech interns. If you have any tech projects, like for developers or any other tech majors, you can have an intern work for you. Now, when I talked about the marketing internship program, they don't necessarily work for you, like they're not like working in your business. We just project-based do projects for you. But in this Step Up Startup program, these tech interns are working for you. They're your employees, basically. These tech interns are basically, this is like an employment program. Let me show you here. These benefits, these students are salary-based. The program is at no cost to you. How it works is you pay the students and then you get reimbursed by UNLV. So the only thing is you should be able to pay the interns first, so you should be able to have that capital at first. And then you get reimbursed, I believe, within a month. So you should have that capital ready. But yeah, we want the process to be just like regular employment. We want you to interview them just like you would interview a regular employee, and hire them just like you would a regular employee, and retain them as long as you want. So these are only for tech students at this time. So internships offered: project engineering, computer software engineer for 3D design, database and API intern, and React Native developer, electronics engineer, tech platform developer. These are the majors, yes.
Generally, how many people do you have in each pool, like say tech platform developer? How many people do you normally see?
It all depends. It all depends on how many apply.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And we also have a patent and trademark resource center at UNLV. Again, these are all no-cost services for you. They're not patent attorneys, but they can help you with patent and trademark research. They simplify the patent process for you. And they can just help you, give you advice and with the process. So here you can take the information. Patrick Griffiths is the person in charge, and you can have his email and reach out to him. Here's more information if you want to take a picture of this about Patent and Trademark Resource Center. And here's my information. You can always email me and register at nevadasbdc.org if you'd like to become a client. We have lots of perks and resources. Please become a client. It's no cost to you.
So Carmen, you and I spoke about a month ago here at this event, and you pointed me in the direction of SCORE.
Mm-hmm.
I met with Bob Cushman,
Okay.
and he gave me advice on how to set up the company.
Okay.
I was, if you go back to that overview list of the processes, the steps, was the response. That one, yeah, the phases of the startup. So I was actually at the market innovation, it was a market expansion kind of a. Sorry, this is the second slide. It was one before that. That one, yeah. So I was at the funding options stage already. Talking to Rob, I downloaded a business plan template that he pointed me at, and it helped me define those a little bit better. I had a business plan before, and in hindsight, it was not good. That's what I did with the template, and that helped me fill in these things. Also, the other things that I discussed, they were all covered in that business plan, so I thought that was really good.
Oh, I'm glad. Yes, yes, glad. I get so happy when I hear this feedback. So, where are you right now with everything?
So the business plan. So I wanted to get legal support from the SBA or for funding or starting the company, and make sure that I get all the verbiage right. And Rob said, get your business plan done first, and then hand that in. And it actually helps me with the conversation that I'm having with grant writers right now.
Okay.
Funding.
Okay.
So I'm spinning my wheels in this section right now.
What type of company do you have?
So the startup
I
is,
forgot.
We alleviate the range anxiety of EV drivers by building infrastructure along highways.
That's right. Okay. I remember now.
Solar power.
Yes, I remember now. Okay. Yes. Awesome.
Was that a good sentence right there?
Yes. Yes, it was. Actually, it was better than last time. Yes. Well, come to SBDC too.
I was going to go there, and Bob said finish your business plan first, so
Yeah.
I'll finish that today.
Once you finish, come to SBDC. We can assign you to someone too. Definitely. Great project though.
Are you open on weekends too?
No, we're not. But we still work. Yeah. Any questions?
I have a question. When we were talking about need to make buzz before you go on product, I was wondering how much do you plan, like how much are you talking about it, and people know, and then you're not ready, like how do you time that?
So it really depends on the project and your phase. I mean, if you already know your target audience and determined, if you already know the problem and the solution, I would already start talking to my target audience and to their pain points. So I would start, with a content strategy and at least start building an audience with that target audience, and do some social listening in my platforms, building that target audience and doing some engagement with them and talking to their pain points a little bit. And that would start, some engagement at least. You don't have to talk about the product. That's the thing. Like right, you don't need to start saying, oh, we're gonna have this product, right? You don't ever have to talk about the product until the MVP phase. If you think about like a community building, right, at first. Think about, as long as you narrow down that target audience and know who you're going to be speaking to, you can start speaking about that. Let's say we talked about CRM, right? if you know you're going to be building a CRM, and let's say this CRM is for health companies, right? Home health companies. Now, as long as you know home health companies' pain points, you can start talking to them about it, right? You can start talking about, hey, home health companies, how are you managing your leads? You can start talking about that. Talking about how are you sending emails? Are you automating your emails? Sort of like that. You don't have to say, I'm going to have a CRM for you. Kind of starting that conversation. Or start giving them tips. These are the emails you can send. This is, automating would be better. Kind of. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I think I was thinking like sometimes on social media platforms, organic brand will show up and talk about something over and over again, it's the name, say we're gonna do this or thing, and they disappear for like a year or two, and everyone's like, where did they go?
Yeah.
Is that like a thing you have to consider, or is that like part of their market strategy?
That is not necessarily a good strategy when that happens, right? Like, it's like, hey, we're here, and then you're gone. It's like you weren't even there. So that's not the good part. We want to give value at first. Always lead with the value. Talk about, first tips, educational, and then talking about pain points and what are you doing, surveying them. And then once you have an MVP, then maybe talk about the product so that you can start getting some testers, and then keep going, keep giving value and such, because you don't have a product yet. You don't want to promote. Yeah, you don't want to promote. Creating buzz is about giving value at first.
But if you have a situation where we're talking about product or whatever, and then they disappear, they could be at the market research phase. They could be like, yeah, let's see if anybody cares about this idea. And then nobody cares, okay, just leave that alone, try something else.
Development, that is if you have an MVP, you can do that, like a minimum viable product. But that is after the market research. Now, during market research, you can talk about your idea, yes, definitely. But you don't have a product yet to promote, per se. The ideation process, you can still lead with the value while you're doing the market research. Because or you can talk from the problem and solution point. Like we were saying, what are your problem, right? Because that's how you're doing what are your pain points? What are your problems? That's how you're doing your market research. Or would it be good if we did this? Or how do you think if we did this, kind of? Then that's okay, of course. But you're not necessarily talking about, hey, here's our product. How do you like it? Because you don't have a product. So we're not doing promo at that point. Any other questions? So we spoke here a little bit. What do you guys do? Okay. Do you have any ideas, business ideas?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay. How about you?
What do I do? I'm a UX designer, but I have like an idea, but not anything in the works right now. But this is good just to learn.
Okay, great. How about you? I think I've seen you before.
First time.
Oh, is it? Okay. Okay, you look familiar for some reason.
It says that. I don't know if that's good.
You might have a twin around somewhere.
Yeah, so I'm co-founding a cybersecurity startup focused on vulnerability and threat intelligence.
Nice. That's good. Everybody needs that, definitely.
Yeah, people are lovely. We sell to primarily enterprises.
Okay.
So generally speaking, any company with more mature cybersecurity practice will use
Okay.
what we're offering.
Like MGM.
Yeah, like MGM, yes.
Okay.
Love to get an MGM.
All right. Okay. Well, that was it. So, if there are no more questions.
I do have one just real fast question. So you spoke about market entry. Could you kind of shine some light on your perspective of market entry and like what that could look like, a successful market entry would look like, and some considerations behind it?
For you, like for your type of company?
I suppose, like, what did you mean by market entry?
Go-to-market strategy. So, for every company, it's going to be different, right? This is your launch and how you are going to, this is your launch strategy. What you're going to say, how you're going to launch your product, and what type of channels you're going to launch it, how you're going to promote it, and how you're going to bring in clients. When you have a product like that where you have enterprise base, you're gonna mostly do account-based marketing for you. That's gonna be more, but also I would do a lot of lead capture with lead magnets for you, and then a lot of demand generation. And account-based marketing afterwards.
Yeah, I think this might help your question actually. So what we did, we have a very unique way of approaching our problem. So what we did before, talking about our product, we would just talk about the problem space and like a new way of looking at it. Like to try to like relate to people and kind of, I guess like we're just like trying to create conversation around the problem. Much less the actual product. Because the problem has been around for 25 years.
Yes.
So anyways.
Well, and also in your space, the way you're going to be able to sell that, because I've worked with MSPs and cybersecurity companies before, yours is going to be explaining, in case of a cyber attack, how much they're going to lose versus how much is paying you, right? Showing that ROI. That's going to be your objection handling.
Can I comment to that?
Yeah.
I work in the solar industry for the last couple of decades. I built solar power plants infrastructure project business. Substations are a national security threat or a point of attack these days that by law have to be secured ASAP. So all the utility companies have the federal government behind them saying, get that stuff fixed before the Chinese shut us down, something like that. Right. So if you have an in there, the moment you got one utility together, it'll probably be easy to get.
So that's sort of our challenge with market entry, right? It's like convincing the first utility to then all the CISOs of all the other utilities will get together on their Slack channels and you've got to use this company. So that's kind of our challenge right now, is that first customer.
Yeah.
Market entry was kind of like,
Yeah. Why don't you sign up for SBDC? Let's talk.
Okay.
For your
especially
market
if
entry.
you have experience with NSSPs,
Yes.
security.
Yeah, let's talk.
Okay.
Yeah, let's talk about your strategy, definitely. That'd be good. And let's talk about your lead magnet as well.
The hardest million was the first one, so that the easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first million is the hardest.
And after that is
Yeah. We can definitely talk about that.
I have your information, so I'll
Okay. Yeah. All right. This is it. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.